Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new episode of the Did You Know series. This episode will be featuring So if you end up enjoying this one, please do not forget to throw in a like, but let us move on with his abilities. Rammus's passive gives him bonus AD based on his armor, and from this he gets about 5 AD just from his base armor, while also granting him AD from his armor increase per level, which ends up being at about 21 bonus AD at level 18. Here's an interesting one. On the flip side of what I just said, abilities decreasing armor will reduce the bonus AD granted, and of course vice versa, but if his armor is reduced below 0, Rammus actually ends up losing AD. While using Powerball, Rammus cannot taunt or auto attack, but activating his W will cancel the Powerball effect after a brief delay, but cancelling it with his Q will make it instant. Usually, things like Ghost will grant the champion the ability to ignore Unicollision, but if you Ghost and use Powerball with Rammus, you lose that specific effect for the duration of Powerball. Unlike many other toggle type abilities, so for instance Ash's Q or Jinx's Q, activating and deactivating Powerball will both count as a spell cast, which will count towards things like stacking your tier. The return damage from Rammus's Ball Curl is great versus champions, but remember, it will not work against champion summoned structures, for example Heimer's Tower, Shaco Box, etc. Rammus's taunt does make the target attack you and even follow you if you were to run around. But did you know you can also make the taunt work much like a stun? All you need to do is just use your Zhonya's just as you taunt your target and they'll be standing in one spot as if they're stunned. Tremor, Rammus's ultimate, has no cast time and it can be used while Rammus is powerballing, which is great if you're chasing down an opponent. Even though it somewhat does defy physics, Powerball can be used to stop a champion's jump ability mid-air, for example a Tristana. Rammus's Q ability and his E ability can both be spell shielded, and surprisingly enough his ultimate cannot be spell shielded at all. Alright guys, let's go into some cool facts and lore about Rammus. Rammus seems to be one of the few champions to have 3 designers, them being none other than Guinsoo, Ezreal, and Coronak. All 3 of them are big name designers for League of Legends because all of them have a huge number of designed champions. The absolutely amazing and stunning voiceover for Rammus is the same voiceover artist that did Blitzcrank, his name being Duncan Watt. On top of this, Duncan has even composed a large portion of the music within League of Legends. From this, did you know that Rammus has some of the most insightful quotes within League of Legends? Let's take a listen.
Right, yeah, alright, okay, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. So if you guys counted, he has a total of 6 unique, deep quotes. And finally, his quote has actually become a very popular League meme. Did you know that Rammus is the only champion in the English client to not have a joke, while many other languages have whole dialogues for those emotes? Rammus is an Armadillo, which is Spanish for little armored one, but his title is Armadillo, which of course is a play on words of armor and armadillo. This one might be a little far-fetched, but his name Rammus could be a pun on the words Ram and us. Rammus was among the pool of champions for the Ionia vs Noxus match, but unfortunately for him he was banned. From this, let's go into his lore. The first lore, and what I'm assuming is the most updated one, is a very simple one that doesn't seem to tell much other than question Rammus's existence and purpose. But looking at his older lore, however, it does state, the lands south of the Great Barrier were wrecked by chaotic magical storms. And though many abnormalities existed, Rammus seemed the most interesting. Nobody knows why he crossed all the way from the Shurima Desert to the Plague Jungles. But as he got there, he ended up finding a large hedge maze. He ventured in and was drawn to the very center of the maze by a light, which then ended up knocking him out. As Rammus awoke, his world has changed around him. He felt cognizant, and the earth under him trembled until he steadied himself. He began to search for someone just like him, but with no luck. This journey of his inspired him to craft his suit of armor that we now see, and eventually it led him into the League of Legends. As expected, Rammus has the highest base armor of all champions, being 25, and getting a massive 3.8 armor per level. He also apparently had an ability before called Inspiration, but it was not there with his release, and it is unknown as to what it did. Rammus's dance might be related to breakdancing. The Skin King Rammus refers to Bowser and was only available to closed beta players. Ninja Rammus could refer to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, more specifically to Raphael because of the weapons. Chrome Rammus refers to the Google Chrome web browser. Full Metal Rammus may refer to a destroyer droid from Star Wars. And in this skin's artwork, a dark figure in the background seems to somewhat resemble Soraka, potentially showing an upcoming skin. He shares this Full Metal theme with Jace and Pantheon. Did you know that Rammus and Blitzcrank are close friends, since both have a good nature to them, and maybe also because they both have the same voice actor? On the flip side, as stated in the Journal of Justice, Rammus and Twitch do not get along. Alright guys, that is unfortunately it for this episode of Did You Know featuring Rammus. If you did enjoy, please do not forget to throw in a like, share it with your friends, and also write down in the comments what you would like to see for the next episode. And make sure to check out the previous episodes and the playlist of all the Did You Know episodes. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I hope to see you for the next one. Peace.